Welcome back to Ponderosa North for the love of Bonanza. Well, it's another edition of Bonanza Bits today. I've got quite a few little tidbits here to show you. A bit of housekeeping though, again, on the episode I did about Marie, my love. I also wanted to mention about her that she is the only wife to live on the Ponderosa, and as a matter of fact, she's buried there. And the other thing I wanted to mention about Ben and Marie is that when Ben met her, he was in a really good place in his life. He wasn't looking for love at all. He was sort of on his way to success. Even in the episode, he says, "I have a full life. I have my 2 sons. I have my ranch, and I just want to get home to them." So he was not looking for love at all. But he ended up bringing home Marie to the Ponderosa, where they had our little Joe. So that's a good thing. I also wanted to mention that Lorne Greene's last gig was the Alamo, and it was in 1986. He passed away in 1987, so I misspoke when I said 96. His last gig was 1986 in the Alamo. Okay, so a few things I have here to show you. I like to show you this. I love the characters in their winter garb. And I think that's because I could relate to it more. Coming from the Northeast, seeing them in their coats and hats and gloves and scarves, it made sense to me. I just love seeing them in their winter stuff. I can so relate to them in that costume. Michael Landon won award called the Silver Spur Award. I think this is 1963 or 64. That's quite an award he's got there. It's awarded to the person that most exemplifies the Western lifestyle, and it's presented from the Chamber of Commerce of Reno, Nevada. Of course it is. But he received a lot of awards, and he presented a lot of awards. Mike did a lot of this kind of thing. His agent must have been worked to the bone, I'm telling you. He did so much stuff, parades and variety shows and shindig, and not to mention all of his day-to-day bread and butter work. I say it every time. I don't know where Michael Landon found the time to do everything that he did. Let's talk about Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley was a huge Bonanza fan. Here he is with Dan Blocker, and it is said that Elvis was incredibly starstruck by meeting Dan Blocker and also meeting Lorne Greene. There's Elvis with Lorne Greene. So we're in good company. Elvis loved Bonanza, as do we. The next thing I want to go on to is Hoss and his love of animals and children. I think that's why his character is so endearing. They loved him. Animals responded to him. He mentions in the episode The Newcomer, what animals mean to him. And he just pours his heart out about how much animals love him and how much he loves them. And there's a lot of episodes with him and animals, starting with Walter. The rambunctious, high-strung Walter, who sort of takes over the house, steals little Joe's quilt because it's the warmest in the house, and Adam's bedroom. But Adam says, "I guess I'm man enough to sleep in a room with a southern exposure." He's given up his room to this dog, Walter, and there's 2 episodes about Walter. The other thing that's kind of funny about the Walter episode is that in military college, Dan Blocker played the tuba. Yes, he did. And he ends up playing the tuba for Walter. See how high-strung Walter is there on the table? Yeah, great guys. That dog knew his downstay like nobody's business. But more about Hoss and animals. I mean, there's just so much of it. Here he is with a puppy that was given to him in the episode Springtime. He was sort of bribed with a puppy. Look at it, it's so cute. He's so big and it's so tiny. Then there's the Ponderosa explosion of the Gerby rabbits, Gerby Royal rabbits, where he and little Joe are going to breed rabbits. like they need any help in breeding. And by the time they get a barn full of rabbits, it comes time to skin the rabbits and for the furs. And Haas says, no, we're not skinning these rabbits. So anyway, he ended up with a barn full of rabbits. But Haas was the one you went to for calvings, any issues with injuries, like in The Quality of Mercy, he's nursing a horse back to health. Any sort of veterinary care, shodding, shoeing, anything like that. Haas was who you called upon. Here he is with the stray, trying to give him a bath. He's just so sweet with animals. And of course, old Sheba. Who can forget that old gal? She was wonderful. But I've come to learn that the episode Old Sheba, the animal was not treated that well, which kind of upset me, because I just can't bear to see animals being mistreated, and apparently she was. And so it's kind of tainted that episode for me. It's one of my favorite episodes, but yeah. Things have changed now with the entertainment business and protecting animals and how they're treated, and making sure that their welfare is paramount. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is Purnell Roberts, after he left Bonanza. There's a few in here before, but he sort of became a chameleon, almost sometimes unrecognizable. So I'm just going to show you a bunch of pictures of Purnell Roberts after he left Bonanza. And I think, again, he was always sort of bored with playing the same character day in and day out, and wearing the same clothes and la la la. So I think he really, with his facial hair and hats and all kinds of things, he really got the variety that he craved. So I'm just going to show you a bunch of pictures of Purnell Roberts after Bonanza, where he just becomes an absolute chameleon, depending on if it's a Western or whatever, his facial hair or hats or things like that. Here he is. Just an everyday working stiff, to some sort of captain. I forget what this is in. But yeah, he won an award for this one in Young Riders. Hezekiah Kane, I think he played. But yeah, I mean, he really, really changed his look depending on the role, and depending on wardrobe, and sometimes he's totally clean shaven, which is kind of sort of back to Adam. But sometimes a mustache. Sometimes a beard and a mustache. Like, he really, really changed in just about every character that he played. I mean, look at this one in Mission Impossible. Almost unrecognizable. So, yeah, he left Adam Cartwright behind, and just went for it. Look at, and not only on television, but also in theater. He really, really relished the theater. Just a couple more here, where he's really, really changed his look. It's almost like he went out of his way to separate himself from Adam. So there it is. So that's all I've got for you today on this edition of Bonanza Bits. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.